Hello everybody and welcome back to Brandish the Dark Revenant. Gabriel, do you want to say something?
Not particularly.
Well, as I have been somewhat lost in this game, we're just going to talk about Capcom's failed launch for Ultra Street Fighter 4 for the PS4.
Why do people still play that game?
What's that major fighting game tournament, EVO?
What?
EVO, isn't it? That they,
Never heard of it.
Okay. Hey, they're these guys, they run the fighting game tournaments worldwide, I think.
There's fighting game tournaments?
Yes, there are.
Shit.
Sometimes I don't know if you're messing with me or not.
I mean, I don't really give a shit about this, so no, I'm not.
But yeah, it's like from what I heard, the game was so glitchy on the PS4 that they just.
I mean, it's the PS4. What do you expect?
Yeah, they just dropped it from their lineup. Because they went back to using, I think it was either the PC, the Xbox 360 version of the game.
Of course, they would use the PC version.
Can't see why they'd bother using in the PC version myself.
Well, I mean, because PC's better, but yeah.
And that hasn't been. Yeah, the only reason that's true is because.
You're damn right it's true. Fuck this game!
The only reason it's true is that the hardware manufacturers have become so gutless.
What? What?
Okay. Hey, hear me out.
Oh.
They don't have, they're putting in lower end hardware so that they can, not really push. Last generation they tried to push the limits, and they wound up with a lot of hardware failures.
Because consoles are shit. Need more evidence?
No. Well, they're not shit. The thing is that the only reason and why there were so many failures as they had was because they were using subpar hardware, and that
exactly.
Yes, but guess which systems have more subpar hardware than anything else? PCs. It's more available.
No.
Well, PC hardware is more is a lot can become a lot cheaper. I mean,
Yeah? How is that a bad thing?
No, not cheaper as in the price. I mean cheaply made.
I mean, okay, so you're saying that consoles are better made?
Historically speaking, they used to be.
Well, yeah, well, okay, fair enough.
I mean,
if you drop an N64 and a PC off of a 10-story building, I'm gonna say the N64 is probably gonna survive.
Yeah. Whereas the PC is probably just gonna bust apart.
I mean, yeah, because they're more loosely held together. Whereas consoles are made to be portable.
Handhelds are made to be portable. Consoles are made.
Sword consoles. Would you rather carry on a PS3 or fucking PC?
Okay, you got me there.
Exactly.
I guess the issue at hand is that
People
hardware itself has gone beyond the point of sensibility in how badly it's being made.
I mean, fucking everything's made cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, a good console will last you 20 years. But,
Well, I mean, because games are made to look shit for that console. Whereas if you're gonna make the same game for PC,
No. A good console, as in a well-made console, will last.
You mean as in toughness last year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It'll last you a good 20 years. Whereas if you got a PC, you know, PCs don't usually last 10.
I mean, I beg to differ, but fair enough.
Well, if after that they start getting kind of, they start wearing down on their chance of failure, is much greater.
Well, I mean, yeah, the hard drive and power supply is what can fail mostly.
And that's the problem with. That's always been the problem with consoles, is that they weren't enough like PCs, but now that we're getting in more towards them being more like PCs, it's starting to show that we probably shouldn't be trying to get them to be like PCs.
And, I mean, then again, I've seen people who haven't touched their Xbox in like 5 months and then turn it on, it's registering.
Yeah. But that's the current generation.
No, that's current generation for you.
No, that
It's the past.
it's current generation.
No, it's not.
And as far as saturation goes,
No, it's not.
until the Xbox 360 until the Xbox 360 has been discontinued.
Well, they didn't discontinue PS2 like was it like 2 years ago? Or
I think it was it was about 4 years ago. I wouldn't say that.
Would you say that was current gen at the time?
No,
Exactly.
actually, if you look at the fact that games were still being released for it, who knows?
Discontinued worldwide 2013, so that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I wouldn't necessarily try and argue that was
current gen, so it doesn't matter whether or not whether or not something is fucking discontinued or not.
Yeah, but look at say for instance the original PlayStation. It lasted until like a good. I think there were still games coming out for it until 2004. I think they were still making it until 2007, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but that doesn't make it current generation.
No, it doesn't.
Exactly.
The thing is that Sony and Microsoft are still manufacturing their consoles.
I mean,
Nintendo.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's fucking current gen.
Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sega had already discontinued their consoles by the time on the PlayStation 2, by the time the next generation rolled around.
I'm gonna say when the major fucking manufacturers release their new consoles, then that's current gen.
Not necessarily, because you remember that there were still Atari 2600s being made all the way up into the 90s, and there were still games being made for them.
Alright, but it's like a one.
I mean, yeah, that
is like a one-time thing.
And look at this. There's a Dreamcast game coming out this year.
Yeah, but that's not those are fucking independents. They're not call it? Things. They're not.
Well, look at this. There are also PS3 games and PSP games, and get this. There's a Wii game coming out this year too.
Are they made by the actual company?
Yes. They're actual official releases. It's like we are at the beginning of a generation. We're not in the middle of that generation. I mean, I guess you could argue, you could try and argue that, the new Nintendo 3DS is like 9th generation, if you want.
Okay.
And since Nintendo is planning its 9th generation home console, and Sony's already planning a 9th generation handheld too, because they're talking about on how badly the Vita's doing, and saying they need to up the ante. But they're talking about not You know, I think they said something about not having a whole lot of Vita games coming out this year. There are a couple that I know from, like, Nipponichi.
Just surprised they haven't given up the Vita yet, like they would the fucking go.
Well, the thing is that the Vita isn't, the Vita wasn't so immediately repulsive because it actually used real games.
Yeah, I can see that.
It just had an optional digital library.
The Go didn't use jack shit. You know, they're download the games. There you go, fuck yourself.
And then they didn't have, you know, they had them for more than retail, and then they didn't.
And then people went and fucked themselves.
Actually, they did it to Sony.
Well, whatever. They told Sony.
Do you remember? I remember the big talks about you know, why developers abandoned the PSP. You know why, right? Because they were able to get custom software running on it so quickly.
Also, companies are starting to like not really give a shit about the what you call the current gen, what I call last gen, because of the fucking hardware limitations. So they're saying, you know, go fuck yourself. We're going with PS4, Xbox One.
Well, you know, the PS...
Like Bethesda with Fallout 4.
Bethesda just ruined their own sales.
No, they didn't ruin their own sales. They don't give a shit about their sales. They give a shit about the fucking... go doing what they want with the games. So that they don't look ass.
Bethesda games have never looked great, man.
Yeah, but... No. But if you were to compare a game on PS4 versus a game on PS3... GTA 5.
They look exactly the same. The only
absolutely do not.
Dude, no. Dude, the only difference is that they've got a first-person mode and that it runs at a slightly higher frame rate.
No, it doesn't. Well, that too. Look at the vegetation. There's more vegetation. It doesn't look flat as dicks. They have more wild animals. There's more population in the cities and whatnot. Bullshit.
You know, you could have achieved that by lowering the graphical fidelity of the models on the current
But they don't want to lower. But they don't want to lower things. They want to make stuff look better and put shit up. But you can't do that when the hardware's ass.
You can always do. You can make anything look good, no matter what the system, no matter what the hardware is. You can always make You can always make it look good.
Can you make GTA 4 look good on a Pentium 3?
I don't even think you could run it on that, but...
Shut your goddamn it.
Okay. Last generation. Sixth generation. Sixth generation of consoles was the PlayStation 2 is the weakest system of the sixth generation. Okay. Undisputable, the weakest system. Guess what it's got? The highest...
So you're saying the GameCube is better than the PS2?
The GameCube and the Xbox were... and the Dreamcast, for that matter, were all more powerful than the PS2. But do you want to know why the PS2 was...
DVD.
Well, DVDs for one thing, and Sony was able to wrangle third-party support kind of the same way they did the last time around. Even though Nintendo had the brand recognition for home consoles, was at the time Nintendo and Sega. Sega screwed themselves over. Nintendo didn't do themselves any favors in the 5th generation. So by the time the 6th generation rolled around, Sony had themselves a market share, and they were able to use the reputation that they had built up and the licenses they'd acquired.
Dude, the fucking GameCube has a better CPU than the fucking PS2. It's funny as fuck.
Well, you know, the GameCube was able to...
485 megahertz versus 294.912.
Mm-hmm.
Why make it 295 when you can make it 294.9?
Yeah. Well, it's like my camera records at like 29.9999997 frames per second.
Why make it 30?
Rather than a flat 30.
Go fuck yourself. Eat a dick. You either take it or you go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like, you know, you look at some of the really bad ports for all the systems. As you look at Metal Gear Solid 2 for the Xbox
Never
for the
played it.
original Xbox. Metal Gear Solid 2 on the original Xbox was it wasn't a piece of crap, but it was not nearly as good as its PlayStation 2 counterpart because it was hard to port over to the x86 architecture or from the Emotion Engine. And look at Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sonic Heroes was the PC version, and the PC, Xbox, and GameCube versions of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone ran a lot better than the PlayStation 2 version, which suffered from a lot of, once you left the dungeons, you were pretty much inundated with frame rate issues and slowdown.
It's like when you go from like a city in Skyrim to outside in the world. Oh, good. Fuck off, Kyle. No. Kyle.
Ah, hell. This guy just killed me again. I'm stuck in this one room and I can't figure out how to get out.
I love it when people call me when I'm actually doing something, but when I'm just sitting here jerking off, they're like, nah. Like, alright, take it back, whatever.
I think you've actually done that to me a couple of times.
Well, that's because I don't give a shit.
Maybe they don't either.
Oh, fuck them, then. Eat a dick, son.
Yeah,
Oh, I started playing Deus Ex again. The
Oh.
original one, because I never fucking finished it.
I haven't actually played any of the Deus Ex games. I own Human Revolution, though. By the way, did you see the new XCOM game isn't going to be on any consoles?
Great.
It's going to be Steam exclusive, yeah.
Eat a dick.
It's like, okay, hey, we're just going to, we here at 2K are just going to ignore the fact that we established a great fan base with this game. And not to mention the fact that we already released the game that nobody asked for, which was that tactical shooter version of XCOM. We're also going to screw over our console fans too.
I think people care more about Fallout 4 than other games right now. Well, at least I do. But I don't give a shit about anything else.
I need to go back and I need to. It's like right now I've got a backlog of priority Let's Plays that I need to get through, but I do need to go ahead and since Fallout 4 is
I pre-ordered it.
Fallout 4 is the big thing to be talking about right now. I need to go ahead and play through the Fallout games I've got.
I pre-ordered it for $39, down from $16.
Where'd you pre-order that from?
Like cdkeys.com. Because PC Gamer or some website was advertising it.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing is that PC gaming needs to just do away with all the DRM, and they need to do away with all the digital distribution.
They also don't give a shit about fucking mods. Whereas on console you're fucked.
Well, mods tend to be detrimental to the actual gameplay experience. Not always, but
there's quest mods, so if you finish the game and you're stuck there with your thumb up your ass, you can download quest mods and do more shit.
well, yeah, that's a good thing. But it's like a lot of these like cosmetic mods, where it's like, oh, you can
make your game look better because the developers.
That's not something I would complain about. What I would complain about is like, mods that are an exercise in pointlessness.
Like.
Oh.
Like.
Where the hell did these doors come from? Okay, well, it's like, okay. There are tons and tons of mods that just flat out don't work on, Okay, let's look at the left
They all
4
work
Dead.
if you can install them right. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right, but okay.
I'm gonna go. Save your word. I'm gonna go 8. I'll be back.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Huh. Just found a door there. I'm gonna go ahead and go back in there and mess around. I don't really know where I am, but I'm gonna go ahead and break the video, and I'll see you guys later with some more D&D.